Guys, we are live. It's Christmas special. How you doing? My name is Rich Guzman.
Hello guys, my name is Ace Guzman.
And welcome to tonight's live. We have a special live for you tonight, Christmas special. As you can see, we got our hats on. All right.
Merry Christmas, you guys.
Feliz Navidad. No. Puerto Rico, man.
Feliz Navidad.
We say Feliz Navidad.
Yes.
Okay. So, anyways, we're going to get to the content right now. People are hopping on right now. We're getting people on the live.
Let me refresh here so I can get people on the live.
And
there we go.
So what we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is it's not just going to be about New Year's resolutions and things like that. It's all about ditching your 2025 failures, okay? And remember, failure is not a negative word. It's actually feedback, okay? Remember that. You always say that, Ace. So
yes, I do. I do.
So yeah, so really excited about tonight's live. We got some great notes to get to here. And no taking questions to the end. So if you have any questions, wait to the end and we'll take some questions and stuff like that. But normally we do take questions throughout the whole live. But tonight we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to, wrap things up this year to inspire you and move you in a different direction for the new year. That's what we really want to focus on for you this evening.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely want to wrap up this year.
Yes.
Definitely.
And your lipstick matches your hat.
It does?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, neat. I was trying to get the color right, you know what I mean?
I just noticed that. Yeah, nice. That's cool. Awesome. All right, so anyways, let's get, right down to it. We don't want to, take our time here. We want to get straight to the content.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Let's go.
So what are we really going to talk about tonight? We want to talk about, those screw-ups that pretty much happened. A lot of screw-ups happened in 2025. We don't want to bring into 2026.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
But there will be mistakes, and there will be failures, and things like that will happen. However, the major screw-ups that happened in 2025.
Not to repeat it again.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you feel like ending your 2025 and being in the same spot that you are this year, next year, then this show is your wake-up call.
This is your wake-up call.
This is your wake-up
Tracy, what's going on? We got Daniel on the line here as well. Love to see you, man. This is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now people are hopping on right now. So guys, that feeling of being stuck isn't a fluke, right? It's a result. Mm-hmm. And it's a result of like small, harmless failures that pile up over time.
Boy,
right?
Did they.
It's like these little things that just kind of, they're really annoying, right?
Yes.
And we know it's just, we need to recognize when it's actually happening.
I think it got worse before it got better.
Exactly. And sometimes what we do is we just tend to ignore the little things,
yes.
right? And those actual little things do add up. So you got to be really careful and be really cautious, all right?
Yeah.
We talk about like email marketing. We talk about the follow-up that never happened. We talk about, not communicating effectively. Each one is just like a crack in that foundation. You gotta remember what I told you, building a business is like building a skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
You start with the basement, the foundation.
Yes.
All right, not a quicksand, on a solid steel. All right, very, very important. And we move to the lobby, and we move to the first floor, and we keep climbing up and up and up and up. So when we don't really address these things, it starts to build the crack in the foundation in the bottom, which is not good. All right, we don't want to start that way. So make sure in 2026, we focus on building the structure really solid from the get-go.
But let's do a brutal honesty audit on our viewers here and those that are going to be watching the replay on the show. I mean, we ain't going to need no spreadsheets or anything like that. This is just the tough question that's going to rub you pretty much very, very deep. If you look at your 2025 year, if you look back at 2025, you're running a business online. Did you really build, the traffic systems that you said you would build? Because you got to think of it like that, right? Did you actually get those 70 to 80% opt-in rates that we always talk about, right? When it comes to like open rates and things like that, those types of things.
I mean, we could really get high opt-in rates, especially if we focus on the segmentation with our messaging. And what that means is we're actually segmenting by behavior.
Do it smart.
Which is really important. That's working smarter,
yes.
Not harder. Okay?
Yes.
Very important. We talked about that a lot in the past. Now, let's get more specific. Think about your leads, for example, right? these are actual people who are interested, okay? And the important thing is, how many of them did you actually talk to? Okay, that's question number one. And how many conversations did you even start? And we talked about this as well, is that we have opportunities that are abound all around us. And what we do is we tend to not see with opportunity, but see with failure, right? Because if something happened in the past, we bring that into the present, right? We don't want to do that. We want to learn from the experience of what we've gone through.
Yeah.
And then we want to look at we want to look for in a different perspective.
Yes.
And that perspective is I need to start seeing opportunity more instead of failure.
Yes.
Okay?
I agree with
very,
you.
very important. Mm-hmm. And the biggest mistakes that we make is that we treat our business like a lottery, right? And really it's not. This is not a lottery, guys. This is a real business, okay? It doesn't work unless you understand your niche. It doesn't work unless you actually understand traffic, right? And all traffic out there is an algorithm. And once you learn the algorithm, you know exactly how to take advantage of that traffic. Great example. Now, I know Ace has been working really hard in the last 90 days to really crack that nut when it comes to the Facebook Reels algorithm, because there's some changes, that came about. And she's like, I need to crack this nut. I need to see how can I build up this traffic source and really crack that nut and know exactly how to make sales from it. And you know what? She cracked that nut.
Sure did.
And she actually is making sales from just that strategy alone. And we always talk about this, right? With traffic, is like, what's the strategy? You see, people, for example, with Reels, they'll go out there and they'll just create videos just to create videos, but they have no strategy.
They don't.
And everything I've always talked about in our coaching sessions, with our coaching program, with our inner circle as well, we always talk about strategy. The major question whenever you do something on the internet for your business is, what is the strategy? What formula am I using to understand the strategy? Very, very important. And the thing about it is we need to stop blaming everything around us, and we need to start blaming ourselves and take full responsibility when something doesn't work. Okay? Mm-hmm. I can tell you that, we've created VSLs in the past and, things, didn't work out so well. Do we blame the VSL itself, or do we blame ourselves for not making it and improving it and making it better, right? That's really important, because when we blame blame everything else, we never really see the clear picture, right? We're masking everything and we're not seeing the opportunity. Again, what I say last time, it's all about seeing clearly and seeing more opportunities in front of you instead of seeing the failures.
Well, let me touch on that, because here's the real story from, early in my career with, affiliate marketing. I got a lead for a high ticket, and the commission was over $1,000, because that's where we were positioned that we can earn all in and we can earn $1,000 per sale. And it was like on a Friday, so I said I'll get to it like Monday, and I figured it out that I was like, it was nearly towards the weekend. So because the weekend was coming up, I made some kind of excuse, and I was like, I'll get back to it on Monday. Well, guess what? Monday came. And life got in the way, being a mompreneur, moms out there.
Well,
shout out to y'all.
With a child with autism.
Exactly. So. And I thought, maybe they'll probably lost interest. And I never sent the email. And I never made the call that I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
So here goes a week goes by, right? A week later, and I see the very same, person in a Facebook group. And they're celebrating their purchase. They're like, yay, I bought, and then I'm like, but there was somebody else. So they bought from the person who didn't wait. I want you to get that, okay? So basically, that hesitation on my part to take full 100% responsibility was what cost me over $1,000 in commissions.
Ouch.
I want you to feel that, because I felt it, okay?
I just felt it.
That's a real lesson to learn. Okay, and ambition means nothing without speed. It doesn't. Am I right?
Right, exactly. And it's psychological, because if we're not asking for the sale, then what are we asking for? Okay? You always got to ask for the sale. A lot of people get afraid of asking for money.
I ain't afraid anymore.
Right? And that's right. That's what you started
You
with
learn.
in the beginning.
You do, yeah.
And now you've closed $10,000 deals. You closed $20,000 deals, $30,000 deals.
Yes.
And really, you've learned that the sale is still the same.
It is,
right?
Absolutely.
And at the heart of it, most people spend about 90% of their time, with flashy stuff, right?
Yeah.
The logo, the website, right?
Right.
The perfect funnel. Guys, I got to tell you, this year we haven't even focused on our website. Right? We got a blog that, we haven't even focused on it. Why? Because we've been focusing more on the nuts and bolts of our business.
Yes.
Building relationships, closing deals. That's really what it's all about. And, our coach actually talked about that.
Yeah.
He said, if you focus on the minimal activities
Yes.
that bring the results, you will make more money.
Well, you focus on what converts.
Exactly.
Not what causes distraction.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
You spend 10% on what actually prints money, okay?
I actually did an email about that today.
And you know what? That's human
Yes.
connection.
Yes,
This isn't people's business. It's human connection.
It is.
And guys, we've made the most money and continue to make the most money with human connection. That's what it's all about. If you try to avoid that, yeah, you might make some money, get lucky and stuff, but if you want to make the big money and you want to, make money that will build a long-term sustainable business and give you that freedom,
Right.
then you really got to focus on the human connection, okay? Now, the fortune dies in the follow-up, right? Let's talk about the end of the year feeling stuck because, you let hundreds of these opportunities wither away. And I don't want you to let this happen come the new year. I want you to think differently. Again, see opportunity. Start thinking different, right?
Yes.
There's going to be a thousand neglects that maybe you went by this year and stuff like that. And I say a lot of little things, it does add up to a lot. Let's talk about, connections and being honest more with ourselves.
Yes.
One of the things we've learned is that humans like to lie to themselves to make themselves feel better.
Boy, do they. Yes.
And the reality is if we can be honest with ourselves, with our own mistakes and our own failures, we can see things so much clearly. Because once we start lying to ourselves, the mask comes on and everything becomes fuzzy and we don't see reality for what it really is.
Ego.
Right? Ego. Right? It completely masks and it covers everything. So we want to definitely be, starting in 2026, we want to start being honest with ourselves. If we screwed up, be honest with yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. Look, I screwed up. You know what? I should have followed up that person. That was my fault. I need to take responsibility for that. Right?
Absolutely.
When we start thinking this way, when we start realizing that we are responsible, we are the ones that could earn so much money in 2026 from the decisions that we make, that's when things start to shift. We start to create a new shift, right? A new sail. Right? Remember what Jim Rome talks about? Set the sail. We're setting a new sail for 2026. And that's being honest, brutally honest with ourselves. And don't beat yourself up, but don't be light on yourself either. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. The first part about knowing about a problem is identifying the problem, admitting that you have the problem, and, and then doing something about the problem. But now it's time, for a reset. Like the shift that you need to make isn't like buying some new software. This had nothing to do with it. It's not about going out there and finding, in ClickFunnels, that secret traffic source by Russell Brunson. It has nothing to do with that, right? The thing is, it's a non-negotiable system. Goals fail, but systems run whether you feel motivated or not. And that's what you mean by having a strategy in place. But also, I believe in systems. Okay? Very, very important. So you have to switch from being a passive type of a marketer to more of an active opportunity type of marketer. Just like you're talking about opportunity. So you need to be more active versus passive. I think a lot of people misconstrue the two.
We talked about it before in the past, and I remember when we were saying how important active marketing is. And we'll give an example of what you've been working on the last 90 days. Now, how did Ace make some sales? Did Ace make sales from somebody just, seeing a video and then, boom, magically money appeared? No. She actually has a strategy where people actually are communicating with her. Once they initial the first point of contact, what Ace does, she replies back and starts building that relationship and that bond. Absolutely. And giving them value right from the get-go. Okay? And then from there, they are interested in finding out more. And that's a great strategy because that's being more active. When you say active marketing, that's what she's doing. Yes. She's actually doing the active marketing. And that's how the money gets built in your business. I'm telling you right now, we've always done this and we're not going to stop. We're not going to go with a flashy new strategy or new idea.
Right.
We're going to do what actually is always worth,
Right.
which is actually the human connection.
Right, so your job doesn't end right after a lead comes in. And I mean, like, a lead doesn't necessarily mean like somebody opting into your funnel pages and things like that. I'm talking about like if you're on social media and somebody says, hey, send me the link or give me the information I'm asking for based on what you said in your video, you need to be on it. You don't wait. You do not procrastinate, because guess what? That person's going to go to the person who did not wait for them, and they're going to go sign up with them, and that could cost you. That could cost you a lot of money, cost you a lot of sales.
Yeah.
So don't neglect that when it comes to getting leads, because it doesn't end right there. You have to follow up and follow up in real time. And I teach this to a lot of our students. Okay. A lot of our students are successful who have results. Okay. They're not millionaires, and we're not going to sit here and tell you that, but they are successful in their own right, and they have the results that they didn't have a long time ago or passively before, because now they're starting to understand and become a marketer.
Yep.
And now they know follow up is essential. So what happens is they know not to wait for the clock to keep on ticking until when somebody says, hey, send me the link, they go right then and there, and they're like building a relationship right away. And that's what you should be doing. If you neglect doing that, then this is what's going to happen. They're going to sign up with somebody else, or they're going to buy from somebody else. And this system has 3 unbreakable rules. Okay, Rich, go ahead, break it down.
Now, the rule number 1 is a 24-hour contact rule. Now, this is non-negotiable, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now.
24 hours.
Within 24 hours, you must make contact, okay? If you miss that window, your leads start to get cold and colder, and the longer you wait. So that non-negotiable rule is within 24 hours.
That's right.
The sooner, the better.
Yes.
Remember that,
Yes.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even let 24 hours go by.
Yep.
Okay, we're like right on it, right? So now, a lead enters your world, you make personal contact within 24 hours, right? And I'm not talking about an autoresponder. I mean like, a personal email, a direct message, okay? Now, what we've always done is we've relied on autoresponders, but we also use our Gmail to send a personal message too. Now, people don't know that, but that's what we've always done, and we continue to do so, just to build that relationship, to separate us from the noise. Because think about it. If I go on my inbox right now, I see all these emails coming through, and it's crazy, right? All these emails coming through and everything. And like, how do you actually, stick out in that noise? Well, what we do is we actually, send out a personal message, okay? From our personal email.
Yeah, you said Gmail. I was about to stop you right there. I'm like, correction, it's our personal email.
I mean, our personal email.
Personal meeting.
Well, no.
Our private email.
I'm not wrong about that.
The Gmail.
Because in the very beginning, we were using our personal email. Okay?
In the beginning,
personal Gmail.
Now we use private.
Okay, now we have a private, yeah. But we still use, I'm just telling you how we started, guys, so you understand. Okay, we send always a personal Gmail on top of using the autoresponder.
Yes, in the beginning we did, yes.
Because we got their email.
Yeah.
Right? So we send that personal message. Hey, did you get our email?
Yes.
Right? It's just doing that little extra that most people are not willing to do makes a really big difference in your business. Mm-hmm. Trust me on that one.
Yeah,
okay?
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, let me talk about, now why is this important, okay? Why is that personal email, like a DM, is important? Direct messages are powerful, right? This is the rule that kills procrastination that costs a stack commission, all right? In the very beginning, she was not willing to do this. And when she changed that, everything changed. And I want you to learn from that experience, learn from that big mistake. So when we tell you the follow-up within 24 hours, how important it is, because we know. If we don't, guess what? We're going to lose a sale, right? We're going to lose that bond. We don't want to lose that bond, all right? So let's talk about rule number 2, Ace.
So rule number 2 is all about personal follow-up, not just automated. I think a lot of people, think that they could just, kick their heels up on their desk, put their hands behind their head, and just let everything automated take care of the business for you. But honestly, automation is great for scaling, but it's not personalized. It's not where the profit actually is. Especially when it comes to high ticket affiliate marketing.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
your automated emails that you were talking about, like the emails, these are like air cover. Okay. So like you have things that happen passively on automation, but the money is made on the ground level, ground zero. Okay. So you need to be doing that in the direct messages, and you need to send a message to them. And you need to say, hey, this is Ace, or whatever your name is, and say, hey, this is so-and-so, I saw you were checking out the webinar, or I saw that you were checking out my video post, my reel, any questions you have about that reel, let me know. Like, I'm here for you. You just let me know how, we could work together, or if I could clarify something you don't understand.
But I love the way you asked the question.
Yeah.
You asked the question because you were pre-selling in that moment.
Always pre-selling in that moment. And then this is how our students turn lukewarm leads into $1,500 commissions.
And that's powerful, guys. It's very, very powerful. Now, you said something earlier to me that I love what you said. And you said something about when you're actually marketing, what we're doing is we're not selling the actual product. What are we selling?
Wow. I mean, you're basically selling you. That's what you're doing. You're providing a service. So it's not about the product. It's about you. They want to work with you.
Right. But what's that first thing that you're trying to get them into? Right? When you told me earlier, you said, we're not selling the actual thing. We're getting them into the front door.
Yeah, getting them in the front door and then selling the benefit.
Yeah.
The benefit
is coming. But it's in the front door. A lot of people, what they try to do is they try to sell. Let me give you an example. So how do we make $1,500 commissions? Do we sell that $1,500 commission right from the get-go? No. What do we do?
No. We start them off with a smaller entry point, and then we lead them into the high ticket. We do not bring them straight into the high ticket. Nobody's really going to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what you were saying earlier about what you were studying about Mike Dillard, what he was telling you.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? When you have to, when you're selling an offer, you don't sell the actual thing. You're selling the offer on the front end.
Yes.
And that's the gateway. That's the front door.
Yes. The positioning. Right? The positioning is important, though.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people make that mistake where they think that because they're not, all in, or they don't have that positioning, that they're unable to sell a high ticket, which is absolutely the worst thing that you could think of.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with that, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be where we are, right? And we started from zero ourselves, and we did not have a lot of people on our list. We didn't have a big influential, experience of people following us. We started out with not that much people on our profile. A lot of people ask us, Ace and Rich, you still don't do Facebook ads? No. No, we don't. We do the work. That's the difference between us and them.
Pretty much. Now, I know we talked about faceless marketing before, about not really showing your face and stuff
with
like
AI
that.
now it's different. Yeah, definitely. You stop being faceless, with AI. It's a big help. And the thing about it is that trust is still built. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. This was actually said not publicly. This was said privately. We have our own inner circle, but we also have, things that we do with our one-on-one coaching. And one of the things we teach is trust marketing. Trust marketing is established even if you are using AI, because you are actually cloning yourself, but the person who you are, not someone you're faking to become. Yeah. You're actually the AI version of you cloned, and you are also the real deal of when they meet you. So I always say, if they fall in love with the AI version of Ace, then guess what? They're going to know the real Ace.
But that's the thing, though. Yeah. When it comes to faceless marketing, I know a lot of people, they create models and they actually create someone else who is not them. I believe it's a lot more difficult to build trust that way.
Yes.
It's like misleading people.
Very misleading.
That's why I'm really, I'm just really excited, also fascinated with creating AI clones or AI twins, because, we could be the same, right? And use that technology, but it's us. And that's important to understand, because we don't want to be someone that we're not. And I think that's why you're converting more sales now. It's because you kept it about you.
Yes.
And you didn't try to become someone completely different.
And this is how you know you're on the right track, guys, because what happens is you get comments like, "Hey, I thought this was real." That's when you know that's the money shot right there. When you get a comment like that, and they're like, they thought this was real, you definitely hit the money shot right there.
You work really hard at it to, make sure it's sold like you and stuff like that. So, and our business to rule number 3, the reverse goal set for 2026. All right. Stop starting with a big fuzzy income goal. That never works, guys. That never works. Start somewhere. All right. Start somewhere. Start with your first $500 commission. your $500 a month, even $100 a month. If
Talk
you never
about it.
made any sales at all, I mean, just start with something. All right, that's the key. Because once you start with something and you achieve that, and it's believable to you, your mind knows. I mean, come on, don't be like, I'm going to make 25 grand a month. You never did it before. You never made 10 grand before, right?
Yeah.
The hardest part is getting to that first 10,000, guys. Let me tell you. After you reach that, it becomes more effortless. All right. So start off with something that is simple for you to grasp, understand, and that's going to help you. Okay. Now here's something that I like to do. Start with a lifestyle, right? Like what you actually want. Start thinking about things like that, because when we think about goals, right, and we think about money, money always follows a desire. And money never follows money, okay? It follows a desire. So you have a desire to achieve something, but it has nothing to do with money. Money's no option. What would your world look like? What would your life look like? Start with that, because that will create inspiration and you will get so excited. And what happens is, if you start thinking about the lifestyle, then the lifestyle is going to be like, okay, well, if I want that lifestyle, it's going to cost like, $5,000, $10,000 a month, $25,000 a month. Now we can think with lifestyle ahead of the money, and then before you know it, the money soon follows. Okay? Very important. We've always led with that. We always believed that, like, when we talk on videos, like, create a lifestyle that you want to design. That's why we, created Ace and Rich Freedom by Design, right? Because it was always about creating your own freedom by design. Your own design. We have our own design. What is your own design as far as your lifestyle, right? Freedom by your own design, pretty much. So, which is Ace and Rich Freedom by Design. Now, let's talk about, like, everybody talks about sales, right? So if we think about sales, everybody's like, oh yeah, I want to make some sales, I want to make some money. But the reality is we need to think about the results. And I've talked about this a lot in the past, even many years back, and I keep repeating this because this is so crucial and so important, is that if I want to make money, I want to create the results first before I earn the money. All right? Before we earn the money. So for example, if Ace wants to earn money through her strategy, she's not going to think about money, she's going to think about the results. So like today I saw her looking at the data when it came to the reels, and we would look at the data together, because I'm a data driven person.
Yeah.
And we looked at the data together, and we could see what's happening, the momentum with the data, and what's happening and the growth and things like that. I'm looking at that more than the money, and it's so funny. The money always follows when we focus on getting the result. So our YouTube channel, I think we were earning 250,000 views thus far on our channel. And we are trying to get to like 350,000 views. So we have a goal to get to 350,000 views.
Yeah, we broke it down. Yeah.
Now think about this. I'm focusing on that result to earn money. I'm not focusing on the money. I'm focusing on the result to get to the money. Does that make sense? If we focus more on the results, the money always follows. All right? Remember that. All right? It will never steer you in the wrong direction if you focus on the results. Because if you don't know how to get results, how are you supposed to build up those numbers to earn your commissions, right? To earn those sales and to have people actually follow you and build your audience and all that, things that go along with that. So the system that I want you to execute is more of a dream that you're looking for. What is your dream in 2026 of what you're looking for? Forget about the money. Worry about the result by looking and painting the picture on how you want your life to look like in 2026.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And that makes sense because it takes all the mystery out of it.
Yeah.
And so, let us know in the chat, drop a comment, looking at these 3 rules that we pretty much share with you tonight, the 24-hour contact rule we talked about, personal follow-up, we talked about reverse, goal setting, which one has been your biggest bottleneck this year? Like, drop a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. Let us know which one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, and then I'm gonna, look at the chat here. Let's see how many 1s or 2s we got.
Let me see.
All right.
Go back over here. Let's see if any onesies, twosies, and
Yeah,
threes.
drop 1, 2, or 3 in the comments, baby.
Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
And then we'll see how many 1s and 2s we got. Or 3s. Let's see.
I just see comments.
Let's see comments.
I see comments. Come on, guys, participation here. Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Let's see what we got there in the comment.
They're like, which one was it? Ah, there we go. Somebody
We
said
got
3.
three. All
Okay,
right.
3.
Okay.
3s? 3s? Okay, 3s.
Now, I want you to imagine something, all right? Starting like literally tonight. We're not going to wait till 2026.
No.
We're starting tonight, okay? I want
Now.
to become an active opportunity hunter. Remember when I talked to you earlier about like I want to start seeing more things as opportunities and not failures? We usually get stuck in our failures and we put ourselves down, we beat ourselves up. That's not going to be you in 2026. I want you to become an active opportunity hunter starting tonight. What does 2026 look like? By February, you're not afraid of your inbox, your leads, the chances, the DMs, right? They're not chores. They're inspiration, excitement, where you're heading right now in 2026, right? By April, you close your first few high-ticket sales with, direct messaging, communicating with people, starting to build relationships.
Yes.
Get uncomfortable. Do things you didn't do in 2025. Start doing them in 2026.
Right on.
Very important. That's how you know you are on the right path, and you're going to start seeing more opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep, absolutely. And by the summer of 2026, where it's nice and spring and hot, it's really hot. You're not just running a business, you're living the lifestyle at that point. You're on a trip, you're not stressing, there's no headaches about anything, about money, because your system is now working, right? Your full ecosystem is built out.
Yes.
Now you have it fully operational. So commissions are hitting your account like clockwork because you built a relentless personal follow-up game. So you up on your game. So you're the one posting success stories and different reels and videos you want to do on social media. And you know what? You're buying that thing that you always wanted that you saw when you were window shopping. You finally bought it and you paid cash for it. Okay? That's how nice that feeling is going to be.
Yeah.
So people start asking you next about, can you show me how to do this? They'll be asking you for advice. And at that point, you're not a student anymore. You're now a player with results.
Exactly. Again, I love what you said. You're focusing on the results, guys. Okay? You're opportunity driven now, okay? You're going to be an opportunity hunter, okay? We're not going to be pessimistic. We're not going to be thinking negative. We're not going to be going, my failures and I don't know if I can do this, and stop getting scared, okay? You have to think the opposite of what you thought in 2025 if you truly want to grow, okay? Now, I'm just going to keep it real, guys. This is not a fairy tale, all right? It's what happens when you stop treating your business like a hobby, all right? This is not a hobby, guys. This can change your life, all right? And we want to ditch all the crap, all the failures, all the BS in 2025. We want to say goodbye, right? We don't want to think like, hope this works. No, we don't think that way. We're opportunity hunters now, okay? We're opportunity hunters. We're focusing on the income strategy by focusing on the results, thinking of opportunity now, growing our ambitions, right, to attract more in our lives.
Yes.
Because your actions are going to line up with your desires. Remember I said earlier, lead with a desire, okay? Your income has to match up with your desires. Very important. Now, I want you to stop chasing clicks and start building trust. Stop chasing clicks and start building trust. All right? This is the number one asset that you have in 2026. And guys, if you're struggling with this and you really don't know what to do with, this first step, hit us up here on Facebook, okay? We'll actually guide you in the right direction, show you exactly what program we use to learn all these skill sets. It has helped us become amazing marketers on the internet, okay? And also, if you're watching us here on YouTube, click the link below and get started with us, and we'll guide you in the right direction as well. Okay, so now, Go ahead.
Now, I mean, the thing is, you got to understand, in 2026, you know what you got to do. You don't need some fancy, New Year's 2026 resolution. I'm going to do this and I'm going to stop that. You don't need that stuff, because obviously, what did the resolution do for you last year? Nothing. What did it do the year before? Nothing. If everything we talked about tonight is hitting home with you, you're ready to stop screwing around with your business. We want to help. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's the reason why people seek us out and why we're one of the most sought out after leaders in the affiliate marketing space with high ticket affiliate marketing. They come to Ace and Rich. Why? Because they want help.
They want help. They want guidance.
Yes.
And they want someone who's going to show up every day.
So let me tell you something, okay? Hold on a second. We opened up a few spots, just a few, for a one-on-one strategy session to build out your game plan for 2026. But this is not for everybody. I'm going to tell you right now, I have turned people away who even actually took me up on this offer. Okay? I've offered this multiple times, but this time I'm serious about this. There's only a few slots. So it's only for people who are willing and ready to learn. Stop reinventing the wheel. You ready to learn from a mentor who got results? You ready to learn to get coached? This is it. This is not for people who want excuses. This is not for people who want to literally not want to do the opportunity. Okay?
These are for opportunity hunters.
Thank you. Yes, okay? Exactly. So if that's you, definitely hit us up. Right, Rich? Hit us up.
Hit us up here on Facebook, right here, the messenger, because, hey, we like to actually communicate with you, all right? We don't hide, we don't run, and don't be afraid. We're here to help you and guide you. That's what we do. It's what we've always done, right? That's been our strength.
You got to message us. You have to take the initial step forward. Just like everybody else who we work with and change their lives, you're next. At least you want to be. And send that message.
And again, you're going to watch this on YouTube as well. So if you're watching us on YouTube, we have a link right below this video. Again, like I said earlier.
Yes.
And if you don't want to do that, hit us up with a comment, a question right below this video. All right. So, but for everyone else, your work starts tonight. Okay. Everybody here, remember I said tonight's the night. Tonight's the night that you begin. All right. Because it's about making a decision. It's about making a commitment. I don't want you to wait till January 1st like everybody else does. Well, I'm going to have a great New Year's and, you're going to be partying, right? You're going to have a New Year's, got some champagne.
Here it comes.
I'm going to do this for my New Year's resolution. We don't believe in New Year resolutions. We believe in commitment. Okay? People that make New Year's resolutions, they never commit. It always breaks down. That's why I don't believe in it. I believe in making a commitment starting right now, not waiting to the first of the new year. All right? Don't do it. All right? And 2026 does not have to be a copy and paste of 2025. This is your chance to draw the line in the sand. All right? Again, ditch the failures. Forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Okay? But very important, don't forget the lessons. Don't forget the failures that you have gone through, as far as learn from them so you don't repeat the same mistakes in 2025.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes.
The biggest lesson is that systems work. Unfortunately, resolutions fail. All right?
Yeah.
And your system for 2026 is going to be very simple. Hunt for opportunities. Okay? Start connecting with humans. And never let the fortune die in the follow-up again.
Definitely. I see some questions.
Let's get to it.
Let's get into it.
It's time for some Q&A.
All right, let's go over here. I'm going to go in the order that they are coming in. Let's see. Is it a good idea? This is from Sue's Power Place. Is it a good idea to talk about goals or desires in the feed? Both. Both. Why it has to be one versus the other, right, babe? What you want to do is you want to talk about your goals and think about the perfect timing, right? Right before New Year's, people are already thinking about goals. So focus on that trending right now and just put goals, but mix it up, though. Talk about desire, because technically they go hand in hand.
Yes,
they do.
Yes,
so don't be afraid to go, well, one versus the other. No, I do all. I do everything, girl. Everything. Goals. I do, people who think about things and they are afraid to say them. right? The desire. They desire to travel. I talk about
Yes.
travel. If they desire to make more money, I talk about desire to make money. If they want a desire to make that first sale, I talk about that too. But
Yes.
you got to create valuable content that really hits home on people. Like you got to pull on those strings.
Oh, yes,
pull
you
on
do.
those strings.
Absolutely.
Yes. Any other questions? Good question.
Yeah, excellent question.
That's what I need, step by step from the professionals. That would be absolutely true. All right. Michelle says, grab those spots. Yeah, they're very limited.
Grab
those spots.
guys.
These guys are the real deal and incredible teachers. Each has their own style and teaches you the way you learn best. Absolutely. We know people are different learners. You know, we have people that are neurodivergent. We work with everyone. It doesn't matter what learning style you have.
Yeah.
As long as you come to us and express how you like to be taught, we will do everything we can to make sure that there is absolutely zero place for confusion and more clarity when it comes to understanding.
And you know what, guys? You might be watching this video for the first time. You have no idea who Ace and Rich is. And that's okay. What I want you to do is just go to Gemini or go to any AI and just say, who is Ace and Rich Guzman?
That's one way of doing it.
You're going to find out exactly who we are.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because even AI knows us.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Awesome. So let's see. Any more comments? Any more questions, guys?
Let's see. Isaiah Prim, welcome to
Isaiah,
Ace and
nice
Rich
to see
Live.
you.
Merry Christmas to you. Says Ace and Rich is great points. It's time to make 2026 better. No procrastination. Take action, and that's the only way it's going to get better by you taking action, but not just any action, Isaiah. Massive, imperfect action.
Yeah.
Do not worry about getting everything right. Do not worry about having everything in place. The moon and the stars are not going to align. Everything is going to happen right then and there because you're taking massive, imperfect action.
Exactly. So with that being said, guys, my name is Rich Guzman.
And my name is Ace Guzman.
I want you guys to go out there and go get what's yours. Become an opportunity hunter in 2026, starting tonight.
On behalf of me and
Okay.
Rich and our family, want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You'll see us before New Year, I think, right?
No.
No?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
It
You
doesn't
won't see
fall
us.
on a Friday.
Oh,
It'll be after.
Okay. All right.
That's why this is the last
All
Ace and Rich Live of 2025 and hello 2026 when we get here.
Yes, we'll
see you then.
in the new year. Take care, guys.
Bye
Love you,
now.
appreciate you. Bye-bye.